You are Locked On Nuggets POSTCAST, powered by Mile High Sports, part of Locked On Sports Denver on the Locked On Podcast Network. Your team every day.
Oh, the Denver Nuggets do it again. What a win for the fellas here tonight as they string together their 9th consecutive victory, their 2nd straight coming in the overtime period. Your final score here this evening, the Nuggets 137, the Portland Trail Blazers 132. A lot to talk about in tonight's Locked On Nuggets postcast. I am your host, Aniello Piro. Hope everyone is doing well out there in Nuggets Nation. Just a reminder, Matt Swipa and Ryan have not gone anywhere. This is just some additional content here, some instant reaction content, rather, I should say, on the Locked On Nuggets YouTube channel and audio feed. So Matt, Ryan, and Swipa will have you covered with some additional conversation. And I'm sure there's plenty of conversation to want to have about this one. Man, what a game for the Denver Nuggets. And look, multiple times throughout the course of this game, I mean, really up until the fourth quarter, it felt like this team was kind of just down and out. It felt like one of those kind of typical, I don't want to say scheduled loss, but letdown games, I guess you could say, after their thrilling win over the weekend against the San Antonio Spurs. And that fourth quarter comes around. The Nuggets find a way to slow down the Portland Trail Blazers offensively. They make some key shots late. They send it to overtime. Nikola Jokic does Nikola Jokic things, and away we go on your path here to the 9th consecutive victory for the Denver Nuggets, 137-132 over the Portland Trail Blazers. And I don't know about y'all. I've been trying to be as real as I can be about this team in the time that I've been doing these shows, when I'm on the radio locally here in Denver and just doing all the content that I've been doing for this Nuggets team over the course of this season. Starting to get that feeling again. And, you know, there's been some great wins here over the last couple of weeks, some great wins this season as well. But, like, this is the first time a win like tonight off the heels of the win against San Antonio. And, frankly, this whole streak, just this compilation of what we've seen from this Nuggets team over the course of these 9 games, right? Makes you feel some type of way. So a lot of implication in the game tonight, not just for the Nuggets internally, but also with respect to playoff seeding, as the Nuggets are now currently a half game up on the Los Angeles Lakers for the number 3 seed in the NBA's Western Conference, which is absolutely massive. So more wins than just the win itself in the game tonight for the Denver Nuggets, and we'll see what happens to the Lakers here down the stretch. But if Denver can secure that 3 seed and be the 3 seed in the playoffs, that is going to be absolutely massive with respect to their opportunity to try to go out there and win an NBA championship. Let's get into our turning point here from tonight's win.
Time to reveal where the game was won or lost. It's the turning point.
Well, I think very clearly the turning point in this game was the fourth quarter. Denver manages to outscore the Portland Trail Blazers 38-24 in that fourth quarter period. I mean, outside of that, it was all Portland in the first half. I mean, they put up 35 points and 37 points respectively there in the first and second quarters. And look, this is kind of, I feel like I can almost copy and paste some of these shows sometimes, especially in the wins over the course of this 9-game win streak. I mean, how many times, Portland included the first time they played them over the course of this win streak, like how many times are we going to see this Nuggets team kind of sleepwalk through the first half, third quarter maybe start to show some signs of life, and then just explode in the fourth quarter and really just lock in, not just offensively, because they're pretty consistent offensively for a majority of these games, but defensively. And that's what you saw here tonight. And look, give credit where credit is due. I know Denver won the game, but Portland was absolutely shooting the lights out in this game. Portland shot 48% from three-point land and 47% from the field tonight. But Portland took 52 three-point shot attempts tonight, and they nailed 25 of them. And I believe that's actually a franchise record for the Portland Trail Blazers as well for made three-point shots in a game. So Portland was absolutely shooting the lights out. Kamara ends up fouling out in this game, which in part, I think, what stalled this Portland offense to a certain extent. But look, let's not overstate what the Nuggets were able to do in this fourth quarter, which was play, and in the overtime period, which was play physical defense. Because to start this game, Portland looked like the more physical team, the more focused team, the more alert team. And again, Denver looked like a team that was kind of just riding the high, or, you know, still kind of in la-la land and daydreaming about that win against San Antonio before they ultimately flipped the switch in this one. So credit to Denver for sticking around in this game, down by as many as 18 points in this game where the Denver Nuggets, and they figure out a way to win the game, and their high of 7 points obviously comes very, very late in this one with respect to their lead. So this is just a team at this point where you can never say die. You can never say die with this Nuggets team. And I understand that at points in this season, it's been very rough. It's been very ugly. But I was talking about this with some guys at the radio station today. Like, the Nuggets, if they win out the rest of their games, would win more regular season games this year than they did in their championship season, which just does not seem to be the case for me, because it feels like the lows of this season are lower of any of the regular season lows that we've seen from this team post-championship. I'm leaving out the playoffs because obviously what happened against Minnesota last year was last year against the Oklahoma City Thunder in the playoffs. But, man, it's not as bad as maybe I think, or it hasn't been as bad as I think. And look, they've won 9 in a row. Like, I don't know if anyone else saw this coming. I thought Denver would close the regular season strong, but 9 in a row, and there's still games to go. But you're looking at 10 in a row, and I believe if Denver wins the 10th game, which would be Wednesday night against Memphis, that would be the longest win streak for Nikola Jokic in his NBA career. So the optimistic, positive side of things for this Denver Nuggets team heading into the playoffs, outside of capturing the 3 seed for the time being, is the Nuggets are playing their best complementary basketball at the right time of the season. They're getting hot. They're relatively healthy. We'll see what happens with Peyton Watson when he comes back as well. But Jokic is healthy. Murray's healthy. Cam Johnson with a big three-point shot tonight. Aaron Gordon's healthy. So everything seems to kind of be coming together tonight, or just at the end of the home stretch of the regular season, rather, for this Denver Nuggets team. Let's get into our X.
It's time to reveal who made the biggest under-the-radar impact with today's X Factor.
So we'll talk about Nikola Jokic a little bit more throughout the course of this program. I think I've tweeted it out at Media by AP. I've talked about it on this show, other shows, all that kind of stuff about in what world is this man not the MVP. But I think the X factor for tonight's game kind of, and I don't want to say he's under the radar, but you're going to look to Nikola Jokic's stat line and be like, oh yeah, that's the player of the game, right? But I thought Aaron Gordon in the fourth quarter tonight was spectacular. And he had a couple of really clutch three-point shots. AG tonight finishes with 23 points. He was 4 of 9 from 3, grabbed 9 rebounds and dished out 5 assists. So just 1 rebound shy of a double-double for AG in his 31 minutes played. And he's the Nuggets' best two-way player. But, he eats offensively because of Nikola Jokic. He's really stepped it up in the three-point department. But defensively, he's the heartbeat of this team. He is the anchor of this team defensively. And you saw Aaron Gordon step up, Jamal Murray as well in some instances defensively, to really make life tough on this Portland Trail Blazers team. Another guy I want to highlight who I feel like does not get a lot of love, started the fourth quarter. I thought Jonas Valanciunas' 10 minutes tonight were excellent. And I think Jonas Valanciunas did a lot to keep this Nuggets team in the game and kind of bridge the gap of Jokic coming back in before he went Super Saiyan mode out there in the fourth quarter. I mean, tonight, Big Val, like I said, 10 minutes played, 14 minutes. He was 6 of 7 from the field, hit a three-point shot, grabbed 3 rebounds, had an assist as well. And so Jonas Valanciunas, I know, has been kind of an interesting conversation tonight, or not just tonight, but throughout the course of this season. I thought he was spectacular tonight. I also thought David Adelman did a pretty good job with respect to his challenges. You saw them challenge a couple of plays there late. They get the job done. And I know Adelman has been receiving a lot of criticism this season just for how he's handled certain scenarios. But the reality of the situation is he has this team on track with 9 wins in a row to win more games in the regular season this year than they did in their championship season. Here's another interesting stat or nugget, no pun intended, I should throw out there. This is now the Nuggets' 18th consecutive victory at home against the Portland Trail Blazers. It's absolutely unbelievable. I mean, the Nuggets have their number. And I think back to some of those Damian Lillard games and just other moments that we've seen. Like the fact that the Nuggets have now won 18 games in a row against this Portland Trail Blazers team is spectacular. And Portland brought it tonight. And Denver ultimately kept it close. Again, they were down 18, rallied, and another clutch victory, another overtime victory. You got to love all of that. So I thought Jonas Valanciunas was great. I thought Aaron Gordon was sensational. I thought Cam Johnson played a really nice role in this game here tonight as well. Those are kind of my 3 accent stars, I guess you could say, for the Denver Nuggets tonight. Jamal also had 20, made a big three-point shot there late as well, but we've kind of come to expect that from Jamal Murray. So let's hit a quick break. When we come back, let's continue along with the conversation. Nikola Jokic doing Nikola Jokic things. Nuggets Nation, let me know how you're feeling in the comment section. You guys are the absolute best. Hit that like button. Smash that subscribe button. It really helps us out here on the channel. We'll hit a quick break. We'll come back and do just that right here on your Locked On Nuggets postcast. Back in just a moment, folks. All right, you guys. these. Real quick, let me tell you about our friends over at Quo, because spring is a natural reset point, and if there's one thing that can quietly cost businesses money, it's messy communication. Missed calls, scattered texts, no clear thread of who said what. That's why today's episode is brought to you by Quo, spelled Quo, the smarter way to run your business communications. Quo is the #1 rated business phone system on G2 with over 3,000 reviews, trusted by more than 90,000 businesses. It lets your entire team share one business number so you never miss a call, text, or opportunity. The part I love, everything lives in one clean thread, calls, texts, and voicemails. The whole team sees the conversation so nothing falls through the cracks, and the AI summaries save serious time by logging calls and highlighting the next steps automatically. It just makes your business feel that much more organized and responsive. Make this season no opportunity, no customer slips away. Make sure that is the case with our friends over at Quo. Try Quo for free and get 20% off your first 6 months at quo.com/LockedOnNBA. That's QUO.com/LockedOnNBA. Quo, no missed calls, no missed customers. And let me also tell you about our friends over at FanDuel. Nuggets were like 10-1 at one point live here tonight. If anyone hit that, congratulations. But the NBA playoffs are here, where every possession matters, every matchup is magnified, and every game can swing a series. And right now, FanDuel is giving new customers a great way to get in on the action. Here's what I like about it. You can bet just $5 and get $250 in bonus bets if your first bet wins. The app makes it easy to follow the action with player stats, trends, and matchups all in one place. And during the playoffs, that extra insight really matters when you're looking at stars, role players, and key moments. It just makes the entire playoff experience more engaging from start to finish. Guys, I'm an active FanDuel user. It is my personal favorite sportsbook. UConn covered the spread for me tonight in the national championship game, despite the loss. I believe Danny Hurley finishes like 19-1, I think is the number, against the spread in his last 20 games with UConn there. So I know they lose the game, but they do cover the spread. So head to FanDuel.com to get started. FanDuel, play your game. And again, my personal favorite sportsbook. I know it will be yours too. And let me tell you about our friends over at TurboTax, because it's tax time, but for a lot of us, the old way of doing taxes is a lot. Trying to book an appointment, that's not the most convenient. Sitting in a waiting room with a stack of papers, that's no fun. Emailing back and forth and wondering if they really get your situation, that's not great either. But this year, you're getting a major upgrade. Intuit TurboTax now has in-person locations nationwide where you can meet face-to-face with a real tax expert, and your documents get uploaded straight to your TurboTax app on the spot. And just like that, you're done. Your TurboTax expert gets to work to get every dollar you deserve, while you get real-time notifications as you go about your day. It's the relief of walking in and meeting a real person and walking out knowing your taxes are being handled right. So just head to TurboTax/local or TurboTax.com/local to find a store near you and book your appointment. That's TurboTax.com/local. Be sure to check out our friends over at TurboTax and let them know that Locked On Nuggets sent you. All right, welcome on back into your Locked On Nuggets postcast. Hope everyone is doing well out there. The Denver Nuggets get their 51st win of the season, taking down the Portland Trail Blazers in absolutely epic fashion. Your final score in this one, 137-132. As we talked about, I thought Cam Johnson was phenomenal tonight. I thought Aaron Gordon was sensational as well. And I thought Jonas Valanciunas was massive for the Nuggets off the bench. Early in the game as well, Julian Strawther, I think, is going to be a player in this league. He needs more consistent playing time, but I've liked what I've seen from Julian Strawther in the limited sample size that we've seen throughout the course of the season. But this is just a win that, again, speaks to the overall never-say-die nature of this Nuggets team. That's just kind of where they're at right now. The cardiac kids, whatever you want to label them as. This team has just figured out a way to win games. And again, it was ugly in the first half. It looked like they were hungover from that game against San Antonio and just riding the emotional high of how incredible that game was. But credit to them, they lock in late. They clamp down on defense. And it just makes you think that if this Nuggets team can come out here and play defense, not even for 4 quarters, but for 2.5 quarters, just up the ante a little bit more defensively, it would make these games a little bit more stress-free. And I didn't see what the line was before the game tonight, but again, Denver was as high as 10-1 odds live in this game I saw. And so clearly, if you look at odds makers and live reaction, like this game was all Portland for about three quarters, and Denver ultimately flips the switch. So, and a large reason as to why they flipped the switch is because of one man.
This is the Locked On Player of the Game.
It's Nikola Jokic, guys. Nikola Jokic is our player of the game. Yet another triple-double for the big fella. He finishes with 35 points. He was 15 of 31 from the field, 14 rebounds, 13 assists, 5 steals, 2 blocks. I mean, this guy just does it all. And I've been ranting about it on social media. Like, the fact that this guy is not going to win the MVP award this season is just a disgrace. Leads the league in assists and rebounds and is as efficient as anybody when it comes to putting the ball in the hoop. And he almost prevented that game from going to overtime with that tip basket there at the end of regulation. Couldn't get it to fall. But Nikola Jokic was spectacular tonight. You know, you saw in the second quarter as well at one point during a timeout, Nikola Jokic kind of getting his teammates fired up, Coach Jokic to a certain extent. And it didn't come to fruition right away, but you just saw an energy flip with this team. Like when they looked up and you're down 18 points in the second half and you kind of start picking at it and chipping at this lead for Portland. Then you get to the fourth quarter and you string together a few possessions. You get a handful of defensive stops. I mean, you limit Portland to 24 points in the fourth quarter in this game, 7 points in the overtime period. Like, Nikola Jokic set the tone and his teammates put themselves in position to succeed. Aaron Gordon in particular, Cam Johnson in particular, Jamal Murray with a big three-point shot as well. And the reason why I think this feels so good if you're a Nugget fan right now is not just the 9-game win streak, not just currently being the 3 seed in the Western Conference, but how they're winning games. It's not just Jokic and Murray going crazy. You're getting contributions from a lot of different guys. It's been Tim Hardaway Jr. at points. It was Jonas Valanciunas partially tonight. It was Cam Johnson stringing together a lot of good games here recently. It was Christian Brown knocking down big 3-point shots in the corner against San Antonio. Like, you're getting contributions from everybody on your team at one point or the other. Not all in one game, but, you know, it's a Tim Hardaway Jr. game here. It's a Jonas Valanciunas game off the bench here. It's Bruce Brown doing things here, right? And so the fact that they're healthy, kind of minus Peyton Watson right now, obviously Zeke Naji, Spencer Jones dealing with what they're dealing with as well in this one. But the core of your team is healthy. And Cam Johnson is confident. I mean, you see just what a difference it makes when Cam Johnson has that confidence and that swagger. Like what we've seen from Cam Johnson the last couple of weeks here, I think kind of speaks to what they thought they were getting essentially when they traded for him. And look, maybe he's a late bloomer. It took him a while to kind of figure it out with this Nuggets team, but Cam Johnson has been really, really important for them down the stretch here. And so you pair that with Nikola Jokic being the best player in the world, and you pair that with just this team's ability to go out there and stay focused and not get too frustrated or bewildered by being down a gazillion points at home and all that kind of stuff. And that's how you're going to be on a 9-game win streak. That's how you're going to win 9 consecutive games in a row at home. That's how you beat the Portland Trail Blazers 18 consecutive times. Like, that's where we're at with this Denver Nuggets team here right now. And I believe I picked up on Chris Marlowe there on the broadcast. This is now the most home wins in a regular season for the Denver Nuggets as well. They're 26th of the season. So it's all coming together at the right time for the Denver Nuggets. Gotta love it. Looking up here at the schedule the rest of the way, only a handful of games remaining. I believe only, 3 now, I want to say? Yep, 3 games. Wednesday against Memphis, Friday against Oklahoma City at home, and then Sunday against San Antonio. I've said it before, I'll say it again. I'm not so sure if you're going to get a full-strength Oklahoma City and San Antonio team respectfully, depending if seeding is locked up. So if Denver takes care of business against Memphis on Wednesday, there's a really good chance that Denver's going to go out there and get the 3 seed, which is absolutely massive for their chances to go out there and contend for a championship this season. If they get the 4, I still think they have a chance, but we have this debate at the office today. Would you rather play Oklahoma City or San Antonio? That's a conversation for another day. I'm sure Matt, Swipe, and Ryan will have you covered with that one as well. But keep your foot on the gas, keep doing what you're doing, and let the good times roll. That's where I'm at with this Denver Nuggets team. So tonight, enjoy it. It was a 137-132 overtime victory. The Nuggets 9th in a row. Their 2nd in a row in overtime as this team is firing on all cylinders late. That is going to do it for me tonight, folks. Really, really appreciate you guys. Do me a favor on your way out the door. Hit that like button, smash that subscribe button. It really helps us out here on the channel. Good stuff tonight. And we'll talk to you guys on Wednesday, hopefully after another Nuggets win. Peace, y'all.